In this video, Ben will be exploring the abandoned paper mill in Austin, Pennsylvania. But before we enter the mill itself, let's take a look at the water dam that powered it, and ultimately destroyed it, along with the lives of a large crowd of people. In 1909, the Bayless Dam was built to power the paper mill. The dam was a concrete gravity dam, and it measured 50 feet high, 540 feet long, and 20 feet thick. It cost $86,000 to construct, which is $3 million by today's inflation. The dam didn't have an underground slab to prevent water from seeping under, and that is ultimately what happened. The dam warped 36 feet under the pressure of the water, which they decided to fix by blasting a hole in it with dynamite, which is about as crazy as it sounds. In 1911, after some heavy rainstorms, the dam split open and destroyed the paper mill and the town of Austin. 78 people died. After the flooding, the paper mill was rebuilt, and the new building was completed in just 130 days. Let's take a look at the abandoned paper mill. A paper mill is a factory devoted to making paper from vegetable fibers such as wood pulp, old rags, and other ingredients. So how is the paper made? Raw materials like wood chips or rags are stored, debarked, and chipped. The chips are then cooked in a digester with chemicals to break them down into pulp. The pulp is washed, bleached, and softened. It's then mixed with water and pumped onto a screen to form a matted sheet of fiber. The wet sheet is pressed to remove water, and then dried and smoothed by a paper machine. The paper machine uses rollers to create a smooth finish. The dry paper sheet is further compressed, coated, or impregnated, depending on its intended use. The paper is stored in warehouses by weight and color, and then cut into sheets for shipping to buyers. Before the invention of continuous paper making, paper was made by hand in individual sheets. The pulp was poured into a sieve, pressed to remove water, and then hung to dry. Even though the mill we see here was rebuilt, the mill was lost again in 1933 after a fire. Let's watch on as Ben explores the remnants of the building. The first building is a large rectangular bunker with graffiti inside. People have left old tires on the ground. There are large archways that exit the building, and it leads to the tall tower. Let's head over to the tower next and see what it looks like at the bottom. Here is the view from the base of the tower. Other explorers have climbed to the top of this tower, apparently with some sort of death wish. Now we are walking through the ground floor of the main building. You have to be careful walking through this area, as there are giant holes leading down into the flooded abyss that is the basement of the structure. Here is the stairwell leading to the second floor, and also the basement. Let's head down. The basement is flooded and dangerous to walk through. Under the murky water could be sharp metal objects, or a hole to fall in. Up on the second level, there are more support pillars spaced apart in a grid pattern, and nature is starting to reclaim the concrete floors. On the wall, Ben found some really cool graffiti of a kaiju monster. The large openings in the walls let in natural light, which makes his space feel open. The natural light and plants, combined with it being an indoor space, give the area a distinct liminal space feel. Also on the second level, people have set up a little camp area to hang out. There are benches made of bricks and concrete slabs. They also brought up a small grill to cook some food. This area is not off limits to the public, so it is a low-risk area to camp out. Lastly, on the other end of the second level, the roof of the building has degraded away completely. The support pillars are still there, and they look like giant mushrooms dotting the area. Since there is no roof, small trees have started growing from the floor. The rebar is still there though, and it looks like a giant net hanging from above. Let's head up to the roof next. These stairs are in much better condition. You have to stay on the south end of the roof, since it disintegrates as you move north. Ben is going to climb the building on the other side next. To get to the top of the other building, you first have to squeeze through a rectangular opening into a tiled room with curved walls. There are 5 of these openings in total. The curved rooms wrap around in an N shape. The curved tile walls undoubtedly was to do with the production of either pulp or paper, but the rooms look really liminal nonetheless. To get up higher, you have to pull yourself up the wall. Someone left a chunk of concrete there which made it easier to climb up. Once Ben pulled himself up, he found a walkway that traces the side of the silos. You have to be careful as to not fall into the other tiled rooms off to the side. At the south end you can see some more rooms below the water level. Unfortunately, there is no way to get in without going through more ambiguous water. Headed north back to the first building, there is an outside concrete stairwell that leads up higher. You can see the openings on the building across the gap, where the camp is located on the second floor. This camera shot helps to visually tie the area together. There is a brick wall with windows up on the second floor level, which makes me wonder if there was a floor that bridged the gap at one point. After climbing the outside concrete stairwell, Ben reached the top of the second building. It is a good view of the tower and the rest of the area. Climbing the silos, though, would be too dangerous, since there is sharp metal sticking out from the edges. And that brings today's adventure to its end of the Austin Paper Mill and the poorly designed water dam that consumed it, along with the town of Austin and its inhabitants. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video.